Welcome to episode 55 of the Winning Brand Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Chase, and I want to welcome you to subscribe and keep coming back week after week. If you're returning, thank you so much, and don't forget to tell a fellow entrepreneur, each one teach one. I need you, you need me, we need each other. So listen, at the end of this month, which is May, for those who may be listening a little late, it will be 1 year in podcasting for me. Can you believe it? Like, time has flown by so fast. And on that day, I am recording a live podcast episode with a studio audience on May 31st. And you guys will get to hear it the following Wednesday. And I'm super excited about that. Like, really, really excited because I stuck with it for an entire year. And trust me, it has not been easy. So, again, thanks for listening. And let's go ahead and recap. In case you missed it on the last solo episodes, episode 53, 5 ways to stay organized as an employeepreneur. Thank you guys for listening. You really, really liked that episode. I know it can be a struggle balancing a 9 to 5 and finding time to work on your own business when you just are exhausted and may not have the energy or have nothing to give to your business at the end of the day. So I tell you how to manage that on that particular show. 52 was Monique Royal, the founder of the New Orleans Natural Hair Expo. It was such a joy to talk to her. We talked about sponsorships, how to stay consistent, and really how to grow a brand if that's something that you want to do with events and things like that. So that is an awesome episode to listen to. All of them are awesome, but go ahead and make sure you check them out. So you can check those out on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. So let's dive in. I hope you all are able to take some notes, or by all means, save this episode so you can come back and refer to it as needed. I've gotten this question quite often in the last few weeks. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and tell you guys about it and let's expound on it because you need to still grow your email list. I think it was like a month or so ago when Instagram went down and everything went crazy, and entrepreneurs, they couldn't sell or whatever, and I was unbothered. I was unfazed because I had an email list, right? And I just kept it moving. So you have to think about that. How are you going to reach your audience if social media goes down? I talk about it in a previous episode. What are you going to do? Like, what is that backup plan? What is that contingency plan if you lose your content or if a social media platform goes down? I mean, just think back when there was MySpace, right? Who still uses that? No one, right? And there are plenty of platforms that have come and gone since then. So you just want to make sure that you are, you have your own way of communicating with your people. And so today we're going to talk about 10 ways to build your email list. This is specifically for people that are, just kind of getting into business, just starting a business, or even if you've been in business for a while and you're like, you know what, I still kind of want to grow my list, but not sure, I don't really know how. So here we go. First, you want to define why you need an email list. It goes back to, what are you selling? Do you really, everyone needs an email list because yes, you do need to reach out. Now, I'm not going to say, because I've been testing a theory, I'm not going to say per se that you need a website. But what I am saying is that you do need an email list. I will always say that. Trust and believe. But you need to define why you need an email list. Is that to get your sales up? Is that for brand awareness? Is it for, you know, more marketing? Like whatever that looks like to you, you need to just define why you need an email list. That's number one. Number two, who is the list for? And do you need to segment your list? So segmenting your list is going to be extremely important upfront. Sometimes we don't think about that until we get like hundreds of people that start getting our email and then they're not subscribing or they're unsubscribing to our emails because they are just not interested in what we have to say. So in order to curtail that, you may want to segment your list and put people in their perspective list. So if you have people that are only coming to you for, I don't know, because they want a particular product and this is what they want and they want to know what you have new coming out all the time, then you segment that list for them and your buyers. If you have people that are not buying and they just kind of want information, like you have a really great blog or you give really great tips, or you have a type of group where they just want information. They're not really ready to buy yet. So you're still trying to warm them up. Segment that list, like have different lists and put people in that list, okay? So even if you set up a landing page, specifically set up that landing page just for that target audience, who are you trying to target for that particular reason. Because if you kind of jumble them all up and, you know, you're gonna get a lot of people unsubscribing because they may not all need the same information at the same time. Right? So everyone that gets my my emails are not, I do not have the same list. Like I segment them out. So I have people that I know listen to the podcast and need and want business tips. So they're in one list. People that are wanting and needing branding and marketing services, that's another list. So people that I even meet at networking events, or I kind of segment them out because that's a different need. And they're entrepreneurs, so they're going to, you know, they're already in a little bit per se. So I just filter that list out specifically for them. So you definitely want to segment your list out so that you keep them separate, so that you are giving and delivering the content that they want and need. 3, what type of content are you putting out to your audience? Here's where it gets tricky. So you don't want to send the same old boring stuff all the time. You really want to keep it fresh. You want to make sure that you have something that's going to want them to say, ooh, I want to be on that list. How do I subscribe? So are you putting out, what type of information are you, that's different? That's not the same thing every week. So you may put out something one week that's like, hey, I have a freebie for XYZ, right? Or the next week, hey, I'm giving away tips for this, or a cheat sheet, or it's always something different. Make sure that you are putting out content that is good and that they are going to want to be on your list. That's going to make them want to be on your list. Because you want them to feel like they're missing out, right? When you, and that kind of 3 and 4 kind of goes together, create content that will get people to join your email list because they feel like they're missing out. And you do want them to feel like they're missing out, even if it's like a membership type of thing. And you have like a freebie or a free list, and then you have maybe like a paid list or a subscription list, but you want them to get some exclusive stuff to make them feel like, I need this and I cannot miss a week, or whenever this information goes out, I need to be a part of that. I want to know what's going on. So you want to make them and create that sense of urgency in them to make them feel like they're missing out. 5, ask on your social media pages. Don't be afraid to, ask for email addresses on your, on your business page or on your LinkedIn. That's a great one. Your Instagram, and Twitter. Like, those are great ways to get people's email addresses, especially if they are seeing constantly the content that you are putting out, and you're putting out regular content, great content, and you're telling them you're kind of going to move, and if they want exclusive content or if they want more content, then you're going to just kind of move them over and start training them into getting the emails, and be consistent with your emails. Okay. Like, if you're going to send the emails, be consistent, because you want them to know, like, if it's going to be every Wednesday or whatever, they'll appreciate the bonus emails, but make sure you stay pretty regular with the email so that you can kind of train them that they know on a certain day, maybe a certain time, that they're going to get an email from you. 6, vendor events. Great way. I see people miss the mark every single time at vendor events. I was the one that was always set up with my laptop, a tablet, collecting email addresses, because I felt like, I didn't want to rely on a business card, and I didn't want to rely on them if they didn't have a card, walking away and I not be able to reach out to them anymore. So a lot of people, they just set up and with just the intent to buy. Well, what if the customer is not ready to buy that day? Maybe it's the next day. Maybe they're waiting on a sale. Maybe they're trying to get to know you, right? So don't miss the mark at vendor events. People really, really don't nurture that arena anymore. And it's all about a quick sale. They're trying to buy, they're trying to, get the sale done or whatever. And it should really go beyond that. It should not be just where they are trying to, you're trying to nurture the wholesale from beginning to end. So that's something to really think about. Like, get the email at the vendor events. Even if you're busy and you're talking to someone, have a sign. Hey, sign up for it, and bait them in, have a lead magnet. Tell them you're doing a giveaway or doing something free in exchange for an email. It still works. People still want free stuff, especially if it's right there and they can grab it, right? So do that. I specifically do, when I'm vending, especially now since I've started vending with the podcast, I want downloads. I want downloads, and I want an email address. So I give away freebies. You may get a magnet, you may get a button, you may get a cup, a mug, or something, exchange for an email address and a download. Yeah, that's what I want. So to get your email address, and if you want something free off the table, then you can get this. So that's something to think about too. You have to invest in getting these email addresses, even if that's giving the free marketing material. I mean, people love pens and simple things like cups and things like that. So it's nothing to get those printed up, especially if you can convert them later on. Okay. 7, giveaways, contests, and lead magnets. Kind of goes back to what I've already said. I really overstate sometimes. Like, I elongate, is that? I go into a lot of details on the other one, and it kind of runs in. So if it seems like I'm repeating, I'm really not. I am, but I'm not, if that makes sense. But anyway, 7, giveaway, contests, and lead magnets. So again, bait them in to get their email address. You want to let them know that they can get something for free. They can get something for something. People want something for something. They just don't want, okay, I'm giving you my email, you're going to harass me. Now what? So no, let's not be that person. Let's not be that entrepreneur. Be the one that makes it a win-win situation. All right. Number 8, ads. Now, especially with Facebook. Facebook has really, really, really changed the game where you have to pay to play. Okay. If you want people to see you, recognize, and you get that brand awareness and you really get seen and out there and you really are trying to go in with promoting, you are going to have to run some ads. And the ads can redirect them. You can do brand awareness ad and it'll redirect them to your website or your landing page to where you can capture that email. So do not sleep on ads. Even if you run them maybe once a month, twice a month, and whatever your goal is, once a month or twice a month, even if you do for a day, 2 or 3 days, but you want to start really getting in this cycle of running ads. One, because, kind of Facebook grades you. This is a totally different episode, but I really wanted to bring this up and mention it because I had Facebook came out and did a talk with the Houston Area Urban League that I kind of sit in on the different classes from time to time. And Facebook, grades you on the ad. So we're going to talk about that because I think that is so key. And they grade you on your ads on one ad and it affects the rest of the ads going forward, if that makes sense. So if people are wondering like myself, man, sometimes these ads don't work. That's why, because you're graded. So anywho, that's another story. We will definitely get into that at some point or another. If I don't, just remind me and I will. So ads, create ads to drive them to your landing page or your website so that you can capture those emails to get them in. Okay. Number 9, networking. Networking done the right way can really, really be profitable. Okay. And it could really work out. But I keep seeing this whole networking thing. You have to network with a purpose. And when people are not networking with a purpose, then no, you're not going to come out with the emails. You're not going to get the people in your sales funnel. You're just not, right? Because people are just collecting cards now to collect cards. You should be networking with intent. Have a goal. And I used to really just focus on talking to people that I know that I can convert or put into my sales funnel. It was serious. I was very strategic about what events I went to because time is money. And you can go to all these networking events all day and they have these cocktails and they have food. And I just, think once you get food and cocktails involved, sometimes it becomes useless. So if you're going to network with intent. Make sure it's an event that's relevant to what you are going to do and cohesive to what you are doing. So if you are I'm throwing this out there, in the medical field, then make sure you're going to medical related events, right? Or something that's very close to and will be conducive to what you are doing. So network with a strategy, network where it's going to pay off and it's worth getting those people on your email list. Because if you network and you talk to them and they're like, oh my God, yeah, I'm interested. Please give me a card, please. So they're asking you, they're wanting that, they're needing that. But if it's like, they really don't ask for your card, and the people that really are there for intent, then, and some people are there for intent, some people are not, but you doing better and being the winning entrepreneur that you are going to network with intent, right? Right. So, that's my spill on networking. 10, speaking engagements. I love getting emails from speaking engagements. These always, always, always for me have converted, because when you go to speak and the people that are there, 9 times out of 10 are there because they really, really need the information. If you're a keynote speaker, even if you're on a panel, or even if you are just in the room and you have some type of influence, the people there are more prone to get your service. So yes, they want to be on your email list. So that is the best little kept secret, because and to get people on your email list. So usually I'll, ask beforehand, hey, can I set up a little table, or can I get an area where I have people sign up or get on my email list, right? And I let them know in advance, hey, this is what I'm giving away, or, this is what I'm doing. Especially if I'm speaking on something, I'm going to give something away related to that so that I can get their email. So it may be, an ebook, or it may be a cheat sheet or something. I create something around my talk so that I can get the email addresses. But sometimes I don't even have to offer the freebie. Most times I don't, because after I'm done and I'm done off stage, I always get, hey, how can I get in touch with you? How can I reach you? And all that great stuff. So speaking engagements, take advantage of that. Don't just get the speaking gig and then that's it. Like, you still have to do the work after that. What comes after the speaking engagement, you still need to make sure that you're being profitable. Even if it's a paid, speaking gig, it doesn't matter. You can still get those emails, right? And even if it's not a paid speaking gig, you still even more so want to get those emails. So make sure that you are taking full advantage when you are speaking. That is key. I see so many people sleeping on that as well, but don't. All right. You will be able to see tremendous results by just being consistent with at least 3 of these. Okay. Try it out. Let me know how it works for you. I would be happy to share your business methods and how you use it. I want to, put you in my newsletter. If you've had, results and you've had success with any 3 on the list that I've named, and you are like, hey, Chase, I've already implemented this and you're right, it works, let me know. Okay. And I'll feature your show. I'll shout out your show in the newsletter, or even on one of the podcast episodes, because each one teach one. So I hope this helps with 10 ways to build your email list. If you like what you heard, please rate and subscribe to the podcast to get more of your weekly doses of ways to win in business. Don't forget to come back to check out next week's show, Small Business Development with Philip Yates. I can be reached at info@thewinningbrand.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for the show, let me know and I will get back to you. Remember this thought: have the end in mind, and every day make sure you're working towards it. Until next week. Bye.